Namaste yogis, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. So for today's SynEq class, we are going to get back on our backs on chair Shavasana. So for today's Shavasana, you know how we have been working with our blankets to support either the lumbar spine or to tilt the pelvis into posterior or anterior. So today we're going to use it to tilt it into an anterior tilt. So an arch on your lower back so that you allow your hips to rest heavily on the floor, but you still create that arch on the back. Because you're going to be using gravity to still release it, you should feel really good at the end. Have your blanket on your chair, so in case that you need that extra support. And remember to have that extra blanket for under your head. Some of us need that extra height or extra extension on the neck. You want to go towards the chair and make sure that your hips are on the floor and your back is on the blanket. Now, we all have different curvature of the spine, and so some of you will have to bring the blanket a little bit lower and more towards the hips. What you truly want is to rest your tailbone on the floor. More than anything, you want to create that gentle arch. Make sure that this blanket is not so thick, so you don't want to be pinching on your back or putting any tension there. If you know that your knees flare, mine do, so I'm actually going to do the strap as well. So you can have a strap and pass it in between, like around, not between, around the legs. And so that you can have about fist distance apart between the knees. And so that will neutralize your hips as you try to find that neutrality of your pelvis and your back. Allow your upper back to round towards the floor, and then we're going to work into the elongation of the neck before we get all set up. So remember to support your head. Place your hands at the back of the head, gently lift it. You can use your hands to create a gentle traction. As you lift, just gently pull it back. Adjust the back of the head on the floor. So pay attention, make sure that your face stays parallel to the floor. Many of us have the tendency to tilt the head sideways. I know I do. So it's important that you do check what is your body doing and try to think about it every now and then and try to bring it back to center. It will go and do whatever it does, and that's okay. We just keep on bringing it back to center whenever we remember. Now, draw your shoulder blades together, pull them down, let your shoulders be heavy. Allow your back to release on the blanket and the floor, and then bring your hands by your sides comfortably, palms facing up. Make sure that your legs are relaxed on the chair. Close your eyes and just bring the awareness down onto your feet. Relax your toes completely. If there is any particular sensation that is bringing the awareness to that point, acknowledge whatever that is. If there is something that you need to look after throughout the class, maybe it's an ache, maybe it's a pinch, or any sensation, just pay attention and make sure that you continue to look after that throughout practice. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. And just relax your shins and your calves. Think about relaxing your knees, your thighs. Usually your thighs take longer to relax. Same with the glutes. Sometimes squeezing purposely and then letting go helps to bring awareness to those big muscles because they are most of the time activating to help the rest of the body. Relax your hips. Relax your shoulders. Notice the curvature of the spine. Feel free to adjust your blanket under your back. So you want to find that perfect place where you feel supported. You don't want to be creating an arch on your back that is not already there. You just want to support the natural curvature of your spine. So that's important that you check where that is in your body and try to bring put the blanket there. The tailbone, however, you want it to rest on the floor so that you can still have that gentle anterior tilt. Relax your jaw, your face. Feel the weight of your arms. Relax your hands and fingers. Let them curl naturally into your palms. No tension, no effort, just relaxation. Relax your face, your jaw, and then begin breathing deeply into your tummy. Fill up to the top. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own for 3 more rounds. As you continue to breathe and pause, notice if at the bottom of the exhalation, I included it on the last round. If that doesn't feel right for you, you can skip it and continue to just hold kumbhaka. Kumbhaka is the pause at the top of your inhalation. Only hold for 4 counts, and you don't have to hold until you feel pressure. You can actually use the elongation of your inhalation as kumbhaka, especially if you have any concerns with your eyes, your blood pressure, or you have any heart condition. And continue with your rounds, counting your breaths, and when you finish with those 3 rounds, relax your breath and observe it. Don't let your mind wander. We'll take 3 more breaths here, full deep breaths. We're going to start by targeting the blades. Bring your arms out to the sides at a T position. Relax your ribcage on the floor. And curl the tips of the fingers into your palms, going into Merudanda Mudra. And then bring your knuckles against your temples, palms facing up. Your elbows might still be touching the floor. Try to keep your ribcage grounded to the best of your ability. And when you exhale next, elbows up. Maybe they touch, they don't have to. Your palms are going to be facing towards each other here. Gentle pressure against your temples to massage yourself in this pressure points. And as you inhale, slowly open. Exhale, close. Deep breathing into your tummy. Inhale, elbows out to the sides. Notice if one arm reaches the floor first, and try to match left and right. And also notice if when your elbows come together, you are tensing your mudra or your jaw so that your elbows can touch. So don't force them. There's no goal of that. Keep your legs, your glutes relaxed. Make sure this is not engaging your abdomen. And try to deepen the breath a little more each round. I will leave you to it. Don't let your mind wander. The next time you inhale and your elbows go back out to the sides, relax your hands comfortably on the floor, palms facing up, wiggle your fingers, and observe. Notice how much your hands were helping the shoulders if you tense a lot. Pay attention to the sensations as the blood rushes down into your hands. Watch for your jaw. Keep creating space between your teeth. Don't let them tense and clench. When you are ready, you're going to bring your thumbs inside your fist and bring your knuckles against one another, elbows out to the sides. So the top of your hands can be facing up towards the sky. The sides of your thumb and your index facing towards you. Throw your shoulder blades together, push them down. Now, as you take your next exhalation, let your elbows move towards the right. And don't let the elbows go to the floor. Try to keep your elbows at the same level. As you inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the other side. Keep your knuckles touching. And do not aim for certain looks. Close your eyes if you can. And just glide your arms side to side, keeping a soft mudra, watching for your thumb. Don't overstretch it. Keep your legs relaxed. Your jaw, your face, your glutes, your abdomen. Remember that small movement. At first, it feels like nothing almost. But after a few rounds, if you do it ever so slowly and mindfully, then magic starts happening. These exercises at first are mostly challenging for the mind because they're not impressive. They don't look like you're doing much. But if you are patient and you stay with it, then you know that much is going on actually. Keep your face and your jaw relaxed and make sure that this is not bringing any tension on your neck. Now, if it is bringing tension onto your neck, you want to target your wings again, your shoulder blades. Keep pulling them down away from the top of the shoulders so that you create that elongation. Don't go so far out to the sides either. That can be also why you might start feeling some discomfort either at the top of the shoulders or even the collarbone. Watch it. Pay attention, where do you feel this? You're not actively engaging your triceps or your biceps, but they will start working. It is normal that you feel a stretch on the elbows, but make sure it's not pinching. Usually elbow pain, like elbow, I think they call it tennis elbow or elbow tennis, that one. Any problem with your elbows usually comes from a dysfunctional shoulder, so you want to watch it. Notice that relationship. Notice if one side it's moving a little farther than the other, and try to match left and right. Notice if in one side you have more sensation. Where is the sensation? And if you can shorten the movement so you don't go right into pain. Sensation is fine, discomfort is fine, but make sure it's okay for you to breathe and it's not excruciating pain or anything like that. When you come back to center from the left, Release your hands on the floor. Be mindful. Relax your mudra. Observe. Notice the sensations as the blood and the energy rushes down to your hands, your arms. Notice your shoulders. And then turn to your breath. Notice the release of prana. After you do these exercises, when you observe your breath, there is one breath that comes every now and then. You know, that one that seems to come out of nowhere and it just fills up your belly without you really controlling it. But when it goes, it feels so good. You know it has released some stress, some energy you didn't need anymore. Keep observing the breath. Watch for those ones. They are awesome. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. Rotate your wrist. Move your hands one way and the other way. And when you're ready, you're going to bring your hands together at the center of the heart, Namaste position. When you take your next exhalation, glide your hands up towards your face and bring your elbows closer together. They don't have to touch, by the way. Keep a little bit of pressure against your palms and make sure you're putting equal pressure on left and right. As you inhale, go back to Namaste position, elbows out to the sides. And as you exhale, glide your hands up towards, like if you were pointing back, elbows come closer together. Find your rhythm. Inhale into Angelic Mudra Namaste. And you go as far down as it's okay for your hands to stay together. So you want the heels of the hands touching. If at one point it feels like you have to separate your hands, then you have gone too far. You don't have to upset the wrist. If you have carpal tunnel problems, you really want to watch. Think about working mostly with your shoulders rather than with your wrist. So don't put any tension, unnecessary tension on your wrist. Relax your jaw, your face, and continue to relax the rest of your body, gliding your arms as you exhale, squeezing all the air out. And as you inhale, back to Namaste. And pay attention how your arms are working, what muscles are talking to you. Keep the pressure against your palms, gently. Don't overdo it. Remember that tiny movements and slow motion goes a long way. The next time you bring your hands back to Namaste, very slowly and very mindfully, release your hands on the floor, palms facing up. Notice the energy rushing down your arms, your hands, and whenever possible, turn back to your breath. Observe. We'll take one more breath, full deep breath. And when you are ready, bring your hands towards the sky, interlace your fingers, elbows are extended here. Draw your shoulders into its socket. Soften your neck, your jaw. Close your eyes. And keeping a firm yet soft mudra, inhale your arms overhead. Try to keep your elbows extended, but don't tense your arms so much. When you exhale, very slowly bring your hands up. Let us work with the timer. Inhale, move arms up. And exhale, arms back, and exhale, arms back up. Find your rhythm. If you try to relax your arms, your range of motion will change. It will be less because you're now using mostly your shoulders and blades to create the motion, not your arms. See how that works for you? Make sure that this doesn't reflect on your collarbone, on your neck. Notice your legs, if they are trying to help, relax them. How about your pelvis? Is it changing position every time your arms go back? Do you find like you're tilting your pelvis? So don't let it. The next time your arms come up again, you're going to cross your fingers the other way, extend, and change. So it will feel off. If usually your right thumb goes first, now you're going to cross the other way and same the other fingers. Relax your shoulders, and as you inhale, bring your arms up, or back, and exhale back up. Notice if that changed in any way, the sensations of the exercise. Maybe it reflected on the quality of your breath. Keep your face and your jaw relaxed. Don't let your mind wander. Remember that yoga is not just a physical practice, it's a mental practice and an energetic one. It affects your nervous system, it also affects your emotional state. So when you find your mind going away, just know it's normal. That's what the mind does. It's not about judging whether you can stay focused for how long. It's mostly about catching yourself and just gently and lovingly bring the awareness back. Even if it becomes a dance between your breath and your mind, and the mind tries to go away, and then the breath brings it back. And the one that's just leading this dance is your awareness. Your mudra is firm but not tense. When your arms come up once again, extend your fingers towards the sky and mindfully release your hands. Observe. Notice if your legs were helping or your glutes. Where were you tensing? Maybe it was your jaw. Notice the energy rushing back into your hands. You're gonna take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you are ready, bring the awareness down to your feet, wiggle your toes, move your feet side to side, wiggle your fingers. You may stretch your arms overhead, tense your fist, push your fist away from the feet. Exhale, release. Now be very mindful as you start bringing the strap or putting the strap out or taking it off. Have your blanket also to your side in case you need extra support in the next asanas, and push your chair mindfully out of the way. Now we're going to take a few moments here, and if you need to readjust your blanket once your legs are extended, you are welcome to do it. We're going to still work with that support. You can have that support on the head still if that's working out for you. You can try doing resting the back of the head on the floor and see what works best. Now when you're ready, bring your legs close together. They don't have to touch, just about a fist distance between the big toes. Flex your feet and press the back of the legs against the floor. Bring your hands by your hips, palms facing down. So this is one of the classic ones of this class. So most of you, if you have been in class, you know it. As you take your next inhalation, bring your right knee up and your left arm back. Watch for your tailbone, keep it pressing down onto the floor. Now as you take your next exhalation, bring your leg and your arm back down. We'll do the opposites again. As you inhale, left knee up, right arm back. And as you exhale, extend and release. Find your rhythm. Inhale, reach back. And exhale down. Moving at the pace of the breath, alternating and moving on the opposite limbs, up on the inhalation and down on the exhalation. Remember, there is no goal of touching the floor with your arm. So if you find that your rib cage is popping up when you try to get the arm all the way down, don't force it. Both feet are active throughout the whole exercise. Keep your jaw and your face relaxed. If you suffer from sciatica pain, this exercise will help. The blanket on your lumbar spine will support the neutrality of your pelvis even when your knee comes up. Do not force the knee all the way over the hip. If bringing the knee a little less, not all the way, that's okay. Halfway is a good place to start, especially if you are working with pain. Do look after your body. Do not force it into any shape it doesn't want to do. And if you're patient with it, it will eventually give you more. We started with the right leg. So when the left leg returns to the floor, relax your hands by your side, relax your legs, observe. Don't let your mind wander. Bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor, and walk your feet mat width apart. The next time you exhale, let your knees fall towards the right. And this is a gentler version than when we put the foot on top. However, some of you might feel you need a deeper extension, and if you would like to try bringing that right foot over the left knee, you are welcome to try that, but don't force it, don't let it pinch, breathe through it. I prefer down, so let your body decide what works for you today. Keep your shoulders grounded. Your neck, you can keep your nose pointing up or towards the right, or maybe away from the knees if that's what you need today. You're rolling the weight or putting the weight on the edges of your feet. Make sure that this is okay for the knees. I won't stress that enough because this is an intense rotation, especially for the knee that is moving towards the center of the mat. You are internally rotating that hip, and for some people that can mean that it's pinching onto your back, so please do not let it do that. And when you are ready, you're gonna inhale, bring your knees up. Adjust the center if needed. As you exhale, let your knees move to the other side. If you went and placed the foot on top of the leg, you can do that again. Now, I'm sorry guys, I'm just reading that you guys were having trouble hearing me. If someone could please confirm if you can hear me, that would be awesome. Maybe Sergio, if you are listening, if you just let me know, that will be great. Thank you. All right, so keep your nose maybe pointing up or towards the knees, or maybe towards the right this time. So you do want to make sure that it's okay for your joints. And once you find that place that works for you, breathe deeply. We're gonna take one more breath here, full deep breath. Release your foot if it was on top of the knee. And when you're ready, inhale, bring your knees back up. You're gonna return to center, adjust your hips. Maybe bring your feet closer to your glutes. Squeeze your buttocks and mindfully lift your hips and move the blanket out of the way. Release your hips back onto the floor. Take a few moments here and notice. Notice how it feels. Some of you might feel like you still have the blanket there. You feel that gap. Extend your legs and notice if that lands well on your back. Close your eyes and breathe. We're gonna take one more breath here, full deep breath. And when you are ready, bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor. If you need any stretch, hugging your knees or swinging your knees side to side, anything at all, you're welcome to go for it now. And when you are ready, you're gonna find your way onto your favorite side and lay on a fetal position for a few moments. Thank you, Jill. Good, I'm glad you can hear me, guys. Thank you so much for confirming. So we're gonna take the top hand to help ourselves up onto a seated position. And on our seated position, gather your props. So you do want to have your blanket on your knees. You can have one or two blankets, depending what your knees like. Extra support is always a good idea if you're dealing with any problems here on your knees. Sometimes having even 3 blankets will make a big difference. And if you find that your knees are too high in comparison with your feet, example here I put three blankets. If moving the top of or placing the top of the feet on the floor feels like a big extension for the top of your feet, you can curl the toes under. That's fine. Just make sure your kneecaps are okay. You're not putting the pressure there. If you are okay with that extension, that stretch, then we're gonna work with that. So blanket or no blanket, this is just an option, remember. So you wanna have about fist distance between the knees. And find that tabletop position that we have been working on, your active tabletop. So press the top of the feet on the floor. Keep your tailbone rising so you have that neutral pelvic position. Don't want to round your back. And from here, we're gonna round the upper back, just the upper back. So we're not affecting the position of the pelvis as you round the upper back. Let your shoulder blades move away from each other. So there is a difference between this active tabletop and cat stretch. I hope you can feel it in your body. It takes practice to get roundness of one part of the spine. But if you stay with it, you'll find it. Tailbone up, shoulder blade support, hollow up your armpits. Gaze in between the hands, top of the feet are down. Now draw the navel in and pull it up. And try to breathe into the sides of your body, into your rib cage. You know, I always think about those sharks, and you know this, I don't know in English how you call this parts on the sides that when they open and close. So think about those. I'll look for the name. I don't even remember the name in Spanish. Otherwise, I will throw it out there. Sometimes it works, and it's the same in English. Keep pressing the top of the feet on the floor. Keep rounding your upper back. Watch for your neck. And keep that active tabletop position, putting equal weight on left and right. When you are ready, extend the right leg back, curl the toes under, press your heel back. Balance the weight on your foot. So you're not just putting the weight on your right knee. You want to just distribute it evenly on your left foot, right leg, right foot is pressing down. Then on your arms, are you putting the weight mostly on one side, maybe on your left hand or right hand? Try to balance and notice how your lats engage once you try to balance the weight on your hands. Keep drawing your navel in. You're working with your muladhara and your Mula Bandha and your Uddiyana Bandha, pulling up. The next time you inhale, bring your left leg up. And as you exhale, move it across the body towards the right. We're not hinging towards the right, we're staying right at the center. Active tabletop again. Try to send your tailbone up as you press your left heel away from you and you work your hands. So do not worry about the hinge. What muscles engage when you try to put the weight evenly on left and right hand? What's happening with your right leg? Are you pressing still your foot down on the floor? Can you still press that left heel away from you? Can you keep your upper back rounded? Keep breathing. We're activating the pose. You don't need to be moving up and down for you to create a lot of energy in your body. I read that the buckets are out today. Next time you inhale, bring your leg up. And as you exhale, back to center, knee down. Awesome. So from here, if you can sit on your heels, you do that. Otherwise, you can stand on your knees. Rotate your wrist both ways. You can bring the top of the hands together, fingertips down, and go into the chicken wings. Yeah, I want to sing it. Pajaritos a volar cuando acaban de nacer su colita de mover. All right, shake it. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So find your tabletop position. Press the top of the feet on the floor. Tailbone is up. Push the mat away from you. Gaze between the hands. And breathe. Imagine that you're holding, going to the bathroom, so you're pulling your pelvic floor muscles up, especially on the exhalation. And think about pulling the navel up and towards your rib cage, tucking it inside your rib cage. Eyes of the elbows face forward. Now when you're ready, keep the balance on your hands as you extend the right leg back. Keep working on balancing your weight and press your heel back. And once again, do not take all the weight on the left or the right, distribute it. Keep sending your tailbone up. Keep rounding your upper back, your thoracic spine. Breathe. Make sure that all of your knuckles are connected on the ground. When you are ready, bring the right leg up and pass it on to the left side. Curl the toes under. And we normally go into a stretch. Here we're not hinging. This time we are staying center. We're activating the pose. Press your heel away. Feel the stretch of the hamstring. Notice all that energy on your shoulder girdle. Keep sending your tailbone up. Don't let it pinch, you guys. Press the left foot on the floor. Can you still press the heel away? Can you still press the top of the left foot down? Can you still send your tailbone up and your blades apart? One more breath here. And as you inhale, slowly, mindfully bring that foot up, back to center. And as you exhale, release your knee down. You can stand on your knees, rotate your wrist, or sit back on your heels, whichever works best. You can do the chicken dance if you want to. I hope you do. And relax your shoulders. And shake the tension off. Perfect. On the next one, you can have one of your blankets, not both. It's going to be too thick to do both. So you can have one of the blankets under your tummy if you wish. Make sure that it's not digging into your rib cage, and just have it as extra support. See if your pubic bone can go down to the floor. So from here, bring your big toes together, bring your hands under the forehead, take a few moments and breathe deeply. The next part, it really depends what's going on your back. So if you have any problems with your lower back, your SI joint, maybe having your feet closer together is going to be too much. So in that case, point your toes away from you and bring your feet parallel, and then bring your legs wide apart. You can bring them as wide as your mat. Make sure that you're pressing the top of the feet on the floor, you're activating those legs and squeezing your buttocks. It's important. Now when you're ready, press your hands onto the floor and lift your upper body and bring your elbows right below the shoulders. So we're going into a Sphinx pose, but we're adjusting the legs to our needs. So some of you will be okay keeping the legs here, and that's perfectly fine. But some of you might feel more comfortable and it will be better for your lower back to go wider. Another thing that you can do if this is pinching your back is to press your pubic bone towards the floor to elongate your back. So you're still putting the mat on your back muscles and you're still getting that lordosis shape, but you're not overdoing it. Press your hands down, shoulder blades together and down. Tuck your chin onto your chest. Breathe. Now, things to look for in this pose. We're activating the pose, whether your legs are closer together or apart. Press them onto the ground. Pick up the knees because you're extending the back of the legs so much. You want to press your forearms and hands onto the ground as you guide your shoulders away from the ears and your blades down towards the lumbar spine. Your gaze might be down. If it's okay for the neck, you may let your head dangle, but you don't have to. If you're allowing your head to go down, some of you will feel okay to massage the neck and move it side to side across the collarbone. This is not going to work for everybody, so please do watch those movements for the neck. Often they look so simple. It can be very, very intense for many of us. So don't worry about the look. It feels good. You're still activating those arms. Your hands are pushing down. So there is no collapsing on your joints here. Come back to center, breathe. You can stay here, or if it works for you, bring your gaze forward. For some of you, it will work to bring your gaze slightly up. Now you're activating this pose, you're pressing your body away from the floor. Hands, arms, feet up to the sky. About your tummy expanding every time you inhale, and as you exhale, let your body sink as you empty. One more breath, inhale, and as you exhale, one hand on top of the other, elbows out to the sides, forehead down. Bend your knees, bring your foot soles together, maybe bring your knees wider apart, and let your feet fall. So this butterfly position will feel different for everybody. You do not have to touch the floor with your feet, although some of you may, and that's okay. Just make sure it's not pinching. Just make sure this is okay on your knees. And when you're ready, extend your arms forward. Forehead down. Press your hands down onto the floor. Lift your chest. Keep your elbows extended, and 1 inch at a time, start walking those hands in towards your body. Don't have to come too close. Shoulders too close. You don't have to bring your hands under the shoulders. Just find the place where you can keep an active pose once again. Feet are pressing towards each other. Make sure this is not pinching onto your back. Draw your blades together and down. And maybe tuck your chin again and move it side to side. You push your hands down and forward like you would do in a downward facing dog. The eyes of the elbows are facing up. You're externally rotating your shoulders here. And you're still activating the sides of your body, your lats. Hollow up your armpits. Come back to center with your chin. Maybe gaze forward. Maybe gaze up. One more breath, full deep breath. As you went up, you go down inch by inch. Walk your hands forward. Forehead down onto the floor. Feet go up. Knees together. Relax the feet on the floor. Big toes touch, heels out. And when you're ready, bring your hand on top of the other under the forehead. Observe. Take one more breath, full deep breath. And when you are ready, you're going to bring your hands under the shoulders as you breathe in. And be mindful, push yourself up on your knees as you breathe out. Now you are welcome to go onto a downward facing dog if your body is calling for that. If not, we're going to stay on an active tabletop. Tailbone up, push the mat away from you, gaze in between the hands. Some of you might go into cat-cow. If any position of cat-cow bothers you, you can skip it and go from neutral into the next shape, neutral into the next shape. And just move very slowly and find that place that will work for your body today. Sometimes when we work with pain, it's confusing because things that we do normally, the body suddenly doesn't want to do. So it's important to recognize just that is not good for me today, so I will skip it and that's all good. When you're ready, come back to neutral. Walk your hands towards your feet. Knees. Hands to knees. Come and walk your hands up the legs, shoulders back and down. Hands on your hips and step forward with your whatever foot you want. Curl the back toes under. You can rest your hands on your thigh if you like, and when you exhale, come up to standing and walk it out. So you have a tissue. You can have your chair and bring it here close to you. So we're going to take a tissue and place it on the chair. You can bring your chair next to the wall, by the way, if you want. And let's see how we do today with this. Step far enough from the chair that you can bring your foot up. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Shift the weight to your left foot. Bring your right foot up. Spread your toes. Clip. Notice if your fingers are trying to help. Clip your tissue and place it down. Now we're doing it with the other leg. Bringing it up. Weight onto the right foot. Spread your toes. Clip the tissue and bring it up. and down. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we'll start with the left. So when you are ready, left foot up, spread your toes, clip the tissue with the big toe and second toe, or maybe just with all toes, and then put it down on the floor. Other side. Gonna bring it up with the right foot. And we're gonna try to do this, keeping our shoulders over the hips to the best of our ability, avoiding shifting onto the hip. And so you can start trying getting the tissue from other angles, just to challenge yourself a little more. If your tissue gets flat, you might have to get a little more creative to get it up. And continue to alternate. Do not get frustrated if your toes don't want to cooperate. You can really get that tissue wet, like that. There it is. All right, how are you guys doing? I want to know how you like this one. It's fun. I like it when we do it in class. All right, so we're gonna do one more on each side. So we started bringing the tissue down with the right, so let's do one more round. So bring it down with the right and up with the left, and then down with the left and up with the right. Awesome. Shake all that tension, put it into the bucket if your bucket was out, and that's your souvenir. I'll use it to clean, or maybe not. All right, so you're going to put your chair away. That's it. We're going to go down onto the floor. No fancy way. So for your seated position, if it feels okay for you to sit on your heels, we're going to do that. We're not staying here for too long. If this is a no for your knees, there are a few options if you still want to try the Japanese seated position, which is if you have a bolster at home or a big pillow, you can stack a few pillows and blankets. And you don't want it too wide, or well, if it's pillow, it doesn't matter because you can actually squeeze it. And so like that. So you basically are going to bring yourself onto that bolster or pillow and have your props behind you a little bit so that you can sit back on them and still have your knees about fist distance apart, rather than having the prop like that and having the knees all wide. So then we're going to try to neutralize the hips by keeping them forward. And you can be creative, really. You can put as many props as needed under your seats. The higher your hips, the less pressure you will put on your knees. So do not hesitate on bringing yourself really high and sit over here. But make sure you have extra padding under the knees, because that can also help. All right, so once you're ready, make sure that your feet are parallel with the knees. Your toes are pointing straight back. And then we're going to find neutrality of the pelvis. So that means that your pubic bone, you're going to send it back a little bit so that your lower back arch shows up. So I'm going to go sideways and show you without the props. Otherwise, I'm going to make a mess again. So instead of tucking the tailbone and putting pressure on your back, you're going to send your pubic bone back a little bit, finding that position of neutrality. For some of us, we'll feel a little bit like anterior, but you want your hip bones and your pubic bone perpendicular to the floor. And then the rib cage might try to pop forward. So we're going to try to bring it in and try to rest your shoulders over the hips. Okay. So once you find your position, rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Close your eyes. And we're going to start connecting with the ground. Tuck your chin slightly, just slightly. Now, this next exercise is considered an advanced pranayama, the astronaut breath. So you do want to make sure that you do just what your body needs to do and skip if needed, all right? Watch it. So with your spine straight or neutral but elongated, tuck your chin, fingertips by your sides towards the floor. Inhale, your right arm in front of you, reach up. You can continue to inhale, or if Kumbhaka is safe for you, as you hold Kumbhaka, reach your arm higher. Feel the extension through the right and bring your arm behind your ear. Exhale, hand behind your head. Press your elbow back. Engage that shoulder blade. Gentle pressure against the back of the head. Keep tucking your chin without letting your head collapse. Now, as you inhale, reach your arm up again. Maybe Kumbhaka or elongate that inhalation, reach higher. Arm in front of you as you exhale. Release it down. Readjust. Other side, inhale, left arm up. When your fingertips are pointing up, maybe Kumbhaka or continue to inhale as you extend. Be mindful, don't put pressure on your temples or eyes. Arm behind you. Exhale, rest your hand at the back of the neck or back of the head. Tuck your chin a little bit, press your elbow back. Next time you inhale, reach your arm to the sky again. Maybe higher, reach. And exhale, hand down in front of you. Other side, inhale. Maybe Kumbhaka. Remember, if you're pregnant or suspect you are pregnant, you don't hold the breath. Arm behind you. Exhale, hand at the back of the head. Elbow back. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale, arm forward and down. Other side, inhale. Maybe Kumbhaka. Reach up. Arm behind the ear. Exhale, hand behind the head. Press the elbow back. Gentle pressure against the head. Tuck your chin. Just a little bit. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, arm forward and down. We're going to do it with both arms. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, arms forward and up. Maybe Kumbhaka if it's in your practice. Reach up. Lift the ribcage away from the hips. Arms behind your ears. Exhale, cross right hand in front of the left or left hand on top of the right. Press the elbows back, slightly tuck your chin. Inhale, reach up. Reach, reach. Exhale, arms down. Again, inhale, reach up. Maybe Kumbhaka, extend. Arms behind the ears. This time cross the other way. So this time your left hand goes first, right hand on top. Press the elbows back. Tuck your chin a bit. Little pressure at the back of the neck, a little tension. Elbows back. Inhale, reach up. Reach. Lift the ribcage away from the hips. And as you exhale, release your arms forward and down. Shoulders back and down. Observe your breath. If you need to extend your legs and shake the tension off, use your props and go into a cross-legged position. Or if you are in a cross-legged position and you need to switch legs, you can do that now. Make sure it feels right on your legs as well. If you are comfortable here, we're going to do the last stage of this pranayama. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Maybe Kumbhaka, reach up. Remember, high blood pressure, heart condition. We do not do Kumbhaka, eye pressure. Arms behind you. And as you exhale, bring your hands at the back, just normal, whichever hand you want. Press the elbows back. And shoulder blades together and down. Pressure against the hands, against the head, the back of the head. Tuck your chin a little bit. There is gentle pressure, you guys. You're not pushing your head forward. You can feel that tension at the back of the neck that is helping you to elongate your spine. But you're still using your shoulder blades to help your elbows to push back. And that will also help you to stretch your pectoral muscles. Watch for your collarbone. Deepen your breath. Feeling up into your tummy. into your side ribs, all the way into the armpits and shoulders. Exhale, let all the air go. Make sure this is not bothering your neck, and if you need to rest your hands down, follow your breath, reach your arms up and release your hands down, and you can hug yourself, cross your arms in front of your chest and continue to breathe deeply. We're gonna cross the arms the other way, reach your arms up, reach, exhale, cross the other way. So this other hand, the hand that you had against the head, now you're gonna have it against the other hand. Press the elbows back, engage the plates, and continue to breathe fully. High blood pressure, hug yourself with your arms. Do not bring any pressure to your eyes and temples. Otherwise, deepen your breath, fill up your lungs. Think about sending your breath into your back body. Some of you are already feeling the rib cage on the back. This is an intense stretch and pranayama, so don't overdo it. We're getting into the lower lobes of the lungs. We're gonna take 2 more breaths here. When you are ready, you're gonna inhale, your arms up towards the sky. Reach up. Exhale, arms forward and down. Shoulders back and down. Perfect. Tuck your chin onto your chest and move your chin across the collarbone side to side, massaging the back of the neck. The next part is the best part. We're gonna lay down on our backs on Shavasana. So when you're ready, bring your head back to center, chin parallel to the floor. You want to be very mindfully, especially if you were sitting in your heels or your props in Japanese. The blood is gonna rush down, and that's what we're gonna use as the main focus, as your meditation object. So you're gonna take your props aside. If you do want, you can shake a little bit for your knees. If you want to prop under your knees, feel free to get it now. And that will help your back. Lay down on your back and find your way onto your butterfly position. A soft butterfly position, whether you have a prop or not. And feel all that rush of energy back to your feet, to your legs. Relax your jaw, your face. Notice your breath. Astronaut breath, also known as Satchitananda breath. This breath helps to deal with depression, low energy. It really infuses every corner of your body with prana. It expands your lungs so they truly work to its fullest capacity. You might find sensation on your upper back mostly because that's where the breath goes, that's where the prana mostly goes. Getting your body oxygenated helps when we're feeling low of energy, lethargic, sad, depressed. And just allow that beautiful energy to enter and cleanse you. And when you exhale, just make sure that you allow all the air out. It's good to take deep breaths in, but it's also really good to let them all go out. Don't hoard it. Follow the inhalation, and at the very top, see if you can inhale a little more. Fill up maybe a little deeper into the sides of your body, into the top of your body. And when you exhale, follow the breath out. And when you think that you have exhaled completely, elongate the exhalation. And sometimes you'll see how much more you can release once you put awareness into it. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Remember that this butterfly position helps with headaches, migraines. If you need to stay here, aquí, now I'm speaking Spanish to you. If you need to stay here a little longer, you're welcome to pause the video and stay here and resume later so we can close our practice together. Otherwise, we're gonna bring our knees up and extend the legs. If the prop is comfortable, you're welcome to stay here. If you would like to try to go into plain old Shavasana, see if that lands on your back, you can try that as well. Make any adjustments that your body's craving for so that you're more comfortable in this Shavasana. Scan your body, make sure that every corner of your body is relaxed. You can stay in Shavasana for longer if you wish. Otherwise, we'll take 2 more breaths together. Rising, falling, rising, falling. Inhale, wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers. Stretch your arms and legs and squeeze every muscle and tense. Tight, tight, tight. Put on face. Exhale, release. Again, stretch and tense and put into the hands all sadness, worries, stresses. Exhale, open your hands, let them go. We'll do it again from toes to fist. Squeeze and tense, tight, tight, tight. All tensions go to the hands and let them all go. And know they are in better hands now. Move on to your favorite side when you're ready. Take a few moments once you get here. And just take a few moments, don't let your mind wander. Really connect with your body, check with your joints, your muscles, your organs. Notice your breath. And we're going to take 1 more breath here, full deep breath. And use your top hand to slowly help yourself up onto your seated position. And we're going to go into any comfortable seated position that works for you. Maybe cross-legged, or maybe you can sit back on your heels if you like that one, using your props. Any cross-legged, one leg on top of the other, in front of the other. No right or wrong. Just make sure that you're able to connect through your seat bones, that your spine is neutral, that there is no pinching sensation going on in any joint. And then bring your hands together in Namaste. Relax your jaw, your face, and maybe draw a smile on your face to send signals to the brain that all is well. And do that even if you don't feel like it, because your brain will catch up. We're going to seal our practice with the sound and vibration of Om. But first, we'll take a breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to Om. Observe. Inhale to the top of your lungs, expand. Side out. Again, inhale. Side out. Last one, breathe in. Let all tension out. Tuck your chin onto your chest. Blink your eyes open. Gaze forward. Rub your hands together and shower yourself with all your good vibes all around you, and shake off tensions and stresses and sadness and whatever it is you carry around that you don't need anymore. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have a wonderful day, yogis. Namaste.